everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and it is Try It Tuesday, and today we're making a card. Excuse me. I saw this card being made by Junebug Creations. She's a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and it's her take on a Gatefold card because you don't have any cuts. You have a flap, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I tell you, this base goes together really super quick. That you could mass make bases and then just go back and add sentiments for whatever you needed. I'm thinking I may do some of these for Christmas and Halloween. So, but I needed a spring card for my card of the month group through my Missouri Stamp Club. And so I went through and I found this paper pad in my 6x6, and I tell you, this is 6x6 is a perfect pad size for this. A friend of mine picked these up for me. I don't know where she got them, but it has 6 different designs on it. I'm sorry, 12 different designs, and they're single-sided. So there's enough here you could add an additional sentiment here, and that would work. Or I could have backed it with a second color and then cut it out. Didn't think about that till just now. So let me tell you how this card goes together. You do not have your typical folded card base. This is your base. Just the single 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock that will fit in your standard card size envelope. Then you cut your pattern paper to 4 inches by 5 1/4. So you have just a slight border around. Now I did go back and edge mine with walnut stain, just a little bit of pop. And then you cut a second piece, and I've got a piece of black, something or other that's driving me crazy. Cut a second piece that is approximately 2 1/2 inches wide by 4 3/4. And you need that 3/4 because you're going to create a fold that goes underneath here, and that creates your hinge. And then she used... Let's see, where did I set my Deckle squares? I just had them. She used the Deckle circles from Stampin' Up, and she used number 5 and number 6, I believe. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 and 6 to make her mat and her sentiment piece. And I'm going to lay this somewhere where I won't lose those circles because we're not going to use them in the one we're making today. I'm going to do something different. And so this worked really well. And a piece that I cut off of the Designer Series paper, I was able to trim the envelope as well. So that's going to go in the mail as soon as I don't lose it. But today I wanted to make a spring one in a slightly different style, but using the same design, the same hinge situation. And I'm using Graphic 45 Fairy Wings collection. And I'm entering this in a spring challenge with Maddie at Spectrum Art Creations. So we have to use 3 things, minimum of 3 things on our project. And we can make any kind of project. It doesn't have to be a card. It can be mixed media, anything. But I wanted to do this, so I'm starting with Daffodil Delight. And I'm using the daffodil paper from Fairy Wings and this journaling card. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to pop my lid open on my distress here. And I'm going to edge this with walnut stain. Just so that the pattern pops off of that color a little bit. Now remember, our base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And it's just a flat piece of cardstock, okay? Now, I don't want to glue that in yet, but I am going to come back and I'm going to edge this piece. I didn't quite trim that off very level, did I? I had to take part of this off so that it would fit, take part of the border off so that it would fit lengthwise on the flop, or the flip, or whatever. And I still got a little piece there hanging on. I cleaned my scissors today. I got goo on them yesterday. Okay, now I can go back and I can edge this with the walnut stain just to give it a pop off that yellow. Okay? Okay, then I've cut a piece 4 3/4, but unable to fit it to the mat, I had to cut it slightly larger. So this one is 3 3 inches. Okay, so a piece 4 3/4 by 3 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this on. So my one part of this from Spectrum that I have to use is the Graphic 45 paper Fairy Wings collection. And this is going to go in the spring, and I'm doing spring because right now, outside my window, I have all kinds of daffodils blooming. Okay, then we're going to come back and we're going to add our flop to here. Now, before I do that, because I'm thinking, because I've got to use 3 things. I have this butterfly and floral trim, and I've cut out a butterfly to put into here. I'm also going to use stickles in the centers of the daffodils and the daisies, but I also have this trim. But I really like this braid trim on here. I'm just trying to decide, do I want to put it down here and then have this flop? I don't think so. I think it's going to go on the bottom of the card. After I lay it out there, I think I know what I want to do. So let's put our glue on our flip, and we're going to line that up with our side edge and our bottom. And I could have come over a little bit farther. I guess I cut this a little shy, but that's okay. That's okay. Now I want to go back and I want to add this trim to here. And for that, I'm going to use my craft glue. I'm beginning to think this stuff evaporates because it always seems like I have less in my jar than when I put it away. And then I have a glue mat here somewhere. I must have put it away. I thought it was in my box here. There it is. I'm going to lay this underneath so I don't get glue on my table. This mat also comes from Stampin' Up. It's just a simple 6x6 silicone mat. I got Bob one to use in his gun room. Okay, now we can come back. And see, I've got this frazzle hill, but once I glue this down here, clean up my edge, and that's going to glue pretty quick, but once I glue that down, then I can come back and I can snip that fray off, and the glue will keep it from fraying anymore. So it won't keep unraveling. Of course, it's stuck to my fingers this morning. Ah. Okay, and then I can come back now and trim this one off right there at the edge. Okay, so there's the paper and there's the trim. That's 2 items. Now I said I wanted to put this little butterfly up there. I'm going to cut where they're joined together. Just like that. We're going to give him a little bit of a bend. And I think I'm going to put a second butterfly underneath of him, and you'll see why in just a second. But let's pull him out and cut another butterfly off of here really quick. I have to keep an eye on my time. I tried recording yesterday's video. And everybody wanted longer videos, so I did an hour-long video on pockets for my Dollar Tree journal. And my computer and my phone would not talk to one another. They just wouldn't talk to one another. So I had to delete the entire 50-minute video and then go back and do a shorter version on a walkthrough of what I created. Just like that. Now when that dries, I can pull those. Let's give him, apparently he doesn't like that glue. Let's give him the craft glue. He'll dry faster with the craft glue anyway. So when I turned my fingers loose, he came with me and flew away. Okay, now when that dries, I can pull those wings back up and give it some dimension. And that will work. Okay, and now I want to use my stickles. And I have to make sure I'm getting the ones that I bought from Maddie. I have the clear iridescent ones, but I think I want to use a yellow. Let's use Sunburst. Let's use Sunburst. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a piece of this silicone mat out so I don't get any bubbles. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let's glue our centerpiece in. Oops. Or we won't be able to do that. Let's glue our centerpiece in. See, this was the back of this one, and I really liked it too. But I wanted to use the daffodils. And maybe for future reference, I'll try 10-minute Try It Tuesdays. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below if you think I can do a card in 10 minutes. Okay, then I can come back and I can use the sunburst stickles that I got from Maddie, and I can put them in the center of the daffodils and the daisies, just like this. And that will give us 3 items. Okay, and then I can come back over here and I could even add some to these backgrounds so these flowers pop as well, and add a little dimension to some of those, just like that. And when these dry, I'll pop this open and I'll do the ones farther down in the card. There we go. There is our Try It Tuesday, where we have made a flip-flop card, or some of them are calling them a gatefold card. Gatefold card. Some days it doesn't pay for me to even try to speak. It really doesn't. So that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. Remember, I will be back here. If not tomorrow, I will be back here on Thursday, where we are going to talk about the elements for the Dollar Tree Junk Journal with Jessica at Paper Terrace. In the meantime, get out your toys and play. Remember to like, to share, subscribe, and creative blessings.